Welcome to another episode of Sumaya procrastinates doing actual work and films another video no one really asked for. Episode 3. I don't know where this video idea came from. It was 3 a.m. and I have an hour to kill, so let's tier rank every memoir I've ever read. It's not going to be hard because it's a genre that I don't really read. What is a genre? Is it really a genre? It's more like non-fiction, isn't it? Anyway, I haven't read many memoirs. I've read 24 in fact, so it's not gonna take forever. Get yourself a cup of tea. Let's get started. Let me take off my glasses now that I'm gonna explain the tiers. Once again, it was 3 a.m. when I made this, so I barely understand it, but context clue, I suppose. The first one, no thanks, is my cute way of waving to the Ari stands in the crowd. I see y'all. The second one, what was that, is, I didn't completely hate it, but really, what was that? 200 pages of what? You know what I mean? The next one is kind of my life motto: C's get degrees. You didn't put in too much effort, and you didn't fail, but you also didn't reach the highest ceiling. So, right there in the middle, like, kind of like potatoes. Filling, and then they taste good. Anyway, let's continue. Talented, brilliant, show-stopping, spectacular.
Amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before.
And the highest of praise I could ever give a book is masterpiece level. I already see a few of them here on the bottom. I don't need to explain it. It's a masterpiece. Should be read by every human being. Let's get started. I'm sorry, I took off my glasses because I'm in front of a window and I don't want to get a flare, but I'm blind. I can barely see this close. Okay, the first one is The Princess Diaries by Carrie Fisher. I've talked about this book too much already this year because I did a reading vlog where I read it and then I kept mentioning it in every video, but it's seriously one of my favorite books of all time. Like, a Carrie book can never go wrong. I'm putting it in masterpiece. I will not hear a debate. You know it's true. Oh my goodness. All Boys Aren't Blue. We read this book in our book club. Warp Society is also a book club. You can follow us on Instagram. And I liked it. I think I loved it and read about it in our live stream. But now that it's been a bit longer since the live stream, it hasn't really stuck with me like some other memoirs do. But I'm gonna put it in talented, brilliant because it's still a masterpiece. I loved it very much, but it's not masterpiece level for me. For me, don't come at me. Thank you very much. Educated. Oh my god, I own some of these books. I should probably prepared more for this video, but I love Educated so much. Another book that I've never shut up about and keep mentioning in every video, but it's one of my favorite books. It really broke me. It has never really left me since I read it, so obviously I'm putting it in masterpiece. I will not hear a debate. Oh, you will not have my hate. Okay, this book it's a really sad, heartbreaking story. It's a story about someone a wife that passed in the Paris attack in 2015. However, I read the Swedish translation, and the Swedish word for hate is hat, but it's also the same word as hat, just with another T. And me being dyslexic, for the longest time I thought it was "you will never get my hat." So yeah. So when I started reading it, because I just picked it up from the bookstore thinking it's gonna be a comedy book. Oh no, it very much is not. It's a really sad book and really powerful, so I'm gonna put it in talented, brilliant. Now we get to another book that I love with every fiber of my being, Becoming by Michelle Obama. I love this book so much. I listened to the audiobook the first time around and I read the physical book not too long ago actually, and I recommend the audiobook because then you get 8 hours of Michelle Obama speaking to you. Who would want that? I'm just saying. So obviously I'm putting it in, I'm kidding. Masterpiece, obviously. Okay, now we get to the Gabrielle Union book that I got. Actually, Sunny, the host of this channel, actually bought this book for me along with another book that I can't really remember right now, but I liked it. It was on a list of the books that I wanted to get, and she just picked 2 books and they got it for me. So I think I'm just gonna put it in here. Like, it wasn't terrible. It was really entertaining, and obviously one of my favorite actresses. Bring It On is a masterpiece of a film, cinema. I will not hear a debate. But at the same time, was it like becoming? You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. Okay, What Happened by Hillary Rodham Clinton. Okay, I read this book mainly to understand what that election was, because I don't really think I can have something original to say about this book, but I feel like it was really informative as an outsider who's never really been to that country, and just follow the election from like over the Atlantic, my news sources. Yeah, I'm gonna put it there. I liked it, but it didn't stick with me. So, but it's also, it wasn't terrible. I'm just saying that. People are gonna come after me. I feel really awkward now. Okay, Inside Out, Demi Moore's book. For me, the only thing I know about Demi Moore is that she's the mom in the movie LOL. If anyone was a teen back in 2014, you remember this movie. But plot twist, Demi Moore has actually had a really successful career that I had no clue about. And it also told me a lot of like truths about life, like men ain't shit. You should just be happy with your damn self. So for that, I'm gonna put it up here. Oh wait, like that. Oh, okay. Now we're gonna get to the first YouTuber book. I'm gonna put it there. I did not like Bows by Lily Singh. I read it mainly because I watched a lot of her YouTube videos back then, and I was like, let me support my fave. Wasn't for me, I'll just say that. And it makes me really sad to put The Last Black Unicorn by Tiffany Haddish so low, but there was just a section that made me incredibly uncomfortable. If you read the book, then we can talk about it, but because I'm trying to be incredibly non-spoilery about it, but there's like a borderline ableist parts that made me really icked out. So for that reason, I'm putting it at what was that, because it had a lot of points where it stood really high. I loved reading about her successes and where she came from, but for that particular section, that made me really uncomfortable. And I was also listening to the audiobooks, it made me even more uncomfortable. But so happy for her success. I just didn't like the book. Okay, another YouTuber book. I'm gonna put that book right there too. We Love Conor Franta. I'm excited to read his other books. I've heard nothing but good things about them, and that his writing actually gets stronger as you read more of his work. But yeah, that was not for me. And oh my god, okay, Yes Please by Amy Fulmer. Anyway, what I was gonna say is that I finished reading this book when I was in Kenya visiting my family, and I was just sitting at the beach. I think I have like a I think I have a video from my Snap where I am at the beach listening to it, and yeah, I liked it very much. I think I'm gonna put it at C categories. Like, I liked it, but it hasn't really stuck with me, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, another YouTuber book. I love Arden very much. I watch her Twitch stream all the time. Please ignore my family in the background. But personally, I didn't really like that book. But like, I liked it. It was really relatable, but it also hasn't stuck with me. I'm not gonna put Arden so low. I love Arden. But she's also friends with Connor, so I'm gonna... But I like Arden more. Okay, right there. Okay. I read Dodie's book before I went to Stockholm to see her concert, and I liked it a lot. I think it's my favorite YouTuber / musician book. So I'm gonna put this book up here. I think it had a lot of heartwarming things to say about mental health, so for that reason, hats off. I said hats off, but I started clapping instead. Oh, okay. I read Ellen DeGeneres' book back then a long time ago. I listened to the audiobook because it was on YouTube for free. And I liked it when I was 13. I thought it was really funny. I listened to it again when I was like 20. And it gave off a lot of old man yelling at cloud vibes. You know, this younger generation, that kind of vibes. So for that, no thank you. Girl Boss by Sophia, I'm forgetting the last name. Honestly, it literally created a term that we still unironically use today. So for that, cool. But personally, no. I'm gonna put it, I think I read it when I was like 18, so for that, it was kind of inspiring. Maybe it's just too strong of a word, but I liked it. But it still hasn't stuck with me. I was going through all the books that I've read, and I found it, and I was like, oh wait, I read that book. I guess I did. So I don't think that's a good sign when I'm gonna tier rank that book now. Okay, this is gonna be fast. This is a YouTuber that only Swedish people know about. Today's LinkedIn. I read the book. I even got an autographed version of it. I've been trying to sell it. No one wants to buy it. That should tell you everything you need to know. It was great when I was younger. I just don't really want to reread it again. And now we get to the first book I ever purchased. Because, you know, we were a believer back in the day. Not anymore. But we were. And I got this book. I remember where it was, I think it was almost 200 kronor. $20, I think that's it. I don't really know currency. I gave that book away. One of my sister's friends loves him, so I was like, do you want a book that he wrote? He wrote probably a ghostwriter. So no, I don't like it. If I gave it away and didn't feel anything, is it really a good book? I'm just saying. Now we get to My Body Is Not an Apology. I think I listened to the audiobook and it was really powerful and incredibly healing. I think it was the first book of its kind that I've ever read. So yeah, I couldn't really stop thinking about it for the first 2 weeks that I read it. So for that reason, hats off, putting it up there at the Lady Gaga tier as it should. And oh my god, okay, When I Call You a Terrorist by Patrice Cullors. I also listened to this book on audiobook last year, I believe, and it's powerful would be an understatement because I've never really read a book about or really researched the people that created the Black Lives Matter movement. Yeah, it was such a beautiful book, such an important read. I'm getting really quiet talking about it, but I really recommend it. For that reason, masterpiece level. Another Carrie Fisher. Okay, this is, if you read all of Carrie Fisher's books, we can talk about this. But personally, I think Wishful Drinking and the Princess Diaries are really on the same level, because when you listen or read Wishful Drinking, there's not really a red thread, because the book came from a theater performance, theater thing that she did, and then took that work and made it into a book, and you can really tell because the stories don't really have a red thread connecting them all together. But with the Princess Diaries, it feels like a time capsule, and it's really interesting to see how there's two completely different versions of the same person in one book. So yeah, for that reason I'm gonna put it at here. Like, one of my favorite audiobooks, I listen to it all the time, but at the same level, it's not Princess Diaries, but it's also Carrie Fisher, so it's not bad either. So for that reason I'm gonna put it above here. And we can go through the last three really fast. I'm gonna put Anne Frank's book right at the top, and Night by Eloise up here too. We didn't really read them in school. I think we read the Diary of a Young Girl in school, but I think I was really young, probably like 12. But I reread it when I was much older and cried like a little baby. But I had never heard of Night before. It wasn't until I was just scrolling through Goodreads back in the day that I found it and purchased it. Also read it, and it's an incredibly powerful book and such an important read that everyone should read. The last book on here is my favorite book that I read freshman year in high school, Persepolis. It's the first comic book memoir I've ever read, and it really stuck with me. I think all of us students, like my English teacher, really did an amazing choice that year picking books, because we read this book in Animal Farm the same year, and I think that was the year I really started reading, and the year that I really started loving to read, because Persepolis and Animal Farm are two really different books, to say the least, but I think the way that the story are told in each of them are really unique and powerful reads, to say the least. But when it comes to Persepolis, obviously I'm gonna put this book up there because it stuck with me. But the other books are in French, and I'm not French, and I can't speak French, and I would love to continue with the series, because I might be wrong, but to my knowledge, only the first book in the series is translated in English, so that's a bummer. I'm just gonna take a screenshot for the thumbnail. And that was my tier ranking video. If you disagree with my choices, we can talk about it in the comments down below. If you read any of the books, we can also talk about the books down below. But that's all I have for you today. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon. Bye.